All right, we are live again here in DigiMarCon Midwest in Chicago, and I am here with Shelley, who is with the Space Between. Tell us a little about yourself, Shelley.
Hello. So I am the marketing director for a company called Space Between. So we're based in the UK, but typically our customers and our clients that we service are big e-commerce brands.
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter where we operate from. So we've been in the US for a couple of weeks now for a couple of different conferences, DigiMarCon USA and
doing the whole tour.
We're doing the circuit. And a couple of meetings thrown in as well. So it's been amazing. And then a colleague of mine has been speaking at different various masterclasses for the event. And yes, I was on the panel this morning.
Awesome. Yeah, tell us about the panel. It was on trends in marketing, you said?
Yeah, so the panel was on digital marketing trends. So what we were discussing were all the hot topics and how we see them evolving throughout this year and next year. And sort of
Can you tell us one or two, or give us like one or two?
A few tasters, of course. So the panel was actually completely recorded. So it's something that you can look back and see everything in detail.
Everyone can go get all the details.
But if you want a condensed version, I can certainly do that. So basically what we were talking about was data privacy, changes that have been happening there. So that's
huge
super
issue.
important, but not that exciting.
Not as exciting, but affects everybody.
But it's a good one to start.
Yep.
And then we talked about omnichannel. We talked about personalization. We talked about live video TV.
Yep. Cool.
We talked about programmatic advertising.
We talked where that's headed.
Absolutely. We talked about learning and how we actually, as digital professionals, keep on top of learning and learn new things. I mean, conferences, obviously an amazing way to do that when you've got great speakers. Because you find it's so easy to just sort of keep your head down and just focus on what you're doing on a day-to-day basis and what your teams are sort of doing and keeping everything on track.
It's true. You feel like if I put my head up, I'm going to miss something. Yeah, you're like...
Totally. So it's this balance between just getting things done and having that efficient time and sort of putting your head up for air from time to time. What else did we cover on the trends panel? I'm trying to think about it now. Have I missed anything? Probably.
So that's probably good. Yeah, if you want to see more about the trends, you're going to have to watch the video.
You're going to have to watch
watch the recording. Yep. Yeah. So tell us more a little bit about Space Between then. I know you said you're moving towards the US, you work with like a lot of large enterprise type companies, but talk to us about what you do with them.
Yes, absolutely. So basically any sort of any business that has a large e-commerce presence, it doesn't have to be the sole presence. We work with a lot of high-end fashion retailers, for example. So they obviously have a bricks and mortar presence as well, but they do a lot of trade typically online. So what we do is, a couple of things. But first of all, we have one of only 2 biometrics laboratories in the UK. So typically these labs were used for psychological testing in research environments. So what we've done is taken a lab and we're using it on the mainstream business market to understand digital customers better. So basically these customers, say for example, or American Airlines, we just flew with them the other day.
Cool.
American Airlines. And you go, right, we do a lot of trade through our website. We want to understand our digital customer better and do better conversions on our website. They would come to us as consultants. We would take a sample of their users, their demographic users, you might be one, and invite them to come along to do a day in our biometric lab. And so we kit them up with the EEG, the skull cap, which measures brain activity in different areas that fire.
Yeah.
We connect them up to...
I'm like picturing, have you seen Black Mirror? I'm like picturing, I think there's like a Black Mirror episode where someone puts on like a whole net. Is that like a...
It's a bit freaky looking. But they're looking at it. They're looking at a computer screen. They're not looking at themselves. So it should be fine. And we connect them up to galvanic skin response, which is like polygraph sweat receptors on their fingers. We have a facial emotional analysis technology. So we can see changes in emotional reactions. Eye tracking, mouse tracking, all that stuff, right? Heart rate. And so basically what we would do is we'd sit you in this lab, kit it up with all of the stuff, and we would give you a few representative tasks to do on the website. We'd say, okay, first task, book a flight from LA to London return. Book a window seat, book a vegetarian meal, add a couple of extra bags, whatever it may be, to get them to interact with that site. And you'd get
try different things. Like, is it hard to get the vegetarian meal? Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So we get them to use the site or the app, whatever it may be. And so you do a few different tasks, and we test a whole pile of users doing that. At the end, what comes out the back is really, really detailed reporting, which is like a roadmap for that business to then follow and implement in order to optimize their site for conversions.
And it's all based on actual interactions that people are taking, actual reactions that they're having as they're trying to do it today, and so you can understand their frustrations, their very cool.
Physiological responses. So the problem,
like
when
ones
you
they
ask
might not even be aware of. Like it's like
totally,
yeah.
That's the problem, is that you can do focus groups and all that sort of thing, but you're only measuring the tip of the iceberg because you're asking people what their conscious reactions are. And often you can say, what do you prefer? Which button would you rather click? The red one or the blue one? A or B? Most people go, I really don't care. Like that one or that one. But actually, when you measure brain patterns and responses online when people are doing things, actually physiologically, often there is a difference, and they don't really know why. It's a subconscious thing. So that's what we measure. Yeah, it's really interesting. And then we sort of go about the the roadmap with them and go, right, these are the priorities. These are the big ones you need to get out of the way first and foremost. Then we'll move on to these. Then we'll move on to these.
And everything you're doing is really extremely honed in on conversion rates. It's what can we do to get people more engaged, converting at a higher rate. Gotcha.
Totally. Ultimately, it's performing or delivering a user experience that they are expecting. Because if a user, no matter what you're doing online or on an app or on your mobile, if you're finding something difficult or frustrating, you haven't achieved the ultimate user experience yet. And we find patterns with things, with how people just intuitively expect a button to be there or something to be there, and if it's not the case, then it's really annoying. So
I feel like as like technology gets better and faster, like my patience has gone down. It's like you have no patience for anything like not working or not where you expected. Almost like
zero tolerance.
I expected it to be this way, why isn't it? And it's like
absolutely. So we're very discerning as consumers now, right? We're very demanding, we're very knowledgeable, we know exactly where to go if we don't like the experience that we're having. And so there's actually no time to get it wrong, and if you do, you have to fix it in that first instance, or you're going to lose them. You can lose them forever. So it's really, really important, but ultimately it comes down to improving online journeys, and that's what we do.
I love it. Can you share, I love that example you gave with American Airlines, and I'm like picturing myself like thinking through all those decisions. What are some other like cool projects you've gotten to be a part of? Can you share any of those?
Oh my gosh, yeah, loads. And the thing is, what I quite like is the variation in what we can actually achieve, because it doesn't matter. You could, it's not limited to just travel and leisure, for example. It could be finance, it could be insurance, like I said, fashion.
Who's not frustrated with banking situation? Yeah, right. It's like,
and actually
make that experience better. Yeah,
totally. And they're almost like the perfect customer, really, because they're so data heavy,
and you can't avoid them. Everyone's got to use something.
Absolutely, and they've got huge budgets for these things as well. So they're almost like the perfect customer. The sort of the unsexy cousin of something and travel or leisure. But there's a lot of opportunity there. But they tend to be sort of more set in their ways as organizations as well. In terms
it's harder to like invoke that change. Yeah.
Well, yes and no. But I think definitely they're very data led. So as soon as you can sort of lead with that, they tend to be very very convinced. But in terms of just new whiz bang ideas, they tend to be more conservative, I would say.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I think anything sort of science based always helps. We've got some very, very exciting projects on the go. Obviously with some big global brands and things that we're working with. But what actually really excites me is I have a project on the go with a local university in the UK, and so they've given me their psychology department. So I have a whole pile of psychology students that I'm going to be doing a research experiment with. And so, keep your finger on the pulse. I'll be watch me on LinkedIn, watch me on Twitter, because when this research piece comes out, it's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to be, published through this university in collaboration with us. So.
Whenabouts is it? Is it a year off?
It will be this year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm meeting them when I'm back in the UK. I'm meeting them in July, and we're kicking off the first phase of the research, the hands-on part. So it's all to do with e-commerce and things that we're going to learn about. It's so relevant as a consumer, and it's so relevant as a business. I'm Shelley G Tweets, so keep an eye out for me there, or just have a look at Space Between, but I'll publish everything. And it's a good place to keep abreast of all these issues.
I'm like a self-professed like data nerd, data junkie. Yes, I'm like fascinated when you're collecting this. Do you guys like then segment and say like, okay, you know, this type of person or this type of consumer might have different preferences. Like, does that come into play, or is this more from a single website view? You know, like.
Yeah, it's very much for each client.
Okay.
And it can be very different. You can find very different things. And every site and every goal is different, right?
Yeah.
So when we talk about conversion optimization, it's what the goal is for that business. And for different businesses and different
Like a
industries,
subscriber
totally
thinks very different than like a one-time purchase. Yeah.
Totally. And you know, for something like insurance online, that is a completely different process with so many more steps than, you know, you're just buying your repeat groceries this week or, you know, what have you.
Yep.
So yeah, it's very different, but I like that variation. And for me in marketing, it's always finding, and definitely in what we do, being so scientific, it's a very healthy challenge for me to take something quite new, quite niche, quite science-based, and to translate it into a message for all these different customer groups.
It's cool. It's very cool.
It's fun. Yeah, it's a good challenge.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. Tell them again, you said your handles where they can find you and find this information coming out soon.
I'm Shelley Grierson. You'll find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. You can find me with the hashtag LinkedIn but also on Twitter, Shelley G Tweets. So that's SHELLEY G Tweets.
All right. Thanks so much, Shelley. Enjoy the rest of the conference.